Buenos días. Soy yo, el señor Morris. Today, we're going to have a guess the word activity, so you'll need a piece of scratch paper and something to write with. We'll review the things that we've been talking about up to now, and we'll add some to our knowledge of greetings and family relationships. But let's begin with our opening song. Canten conmigo. Hola, buenos días. ¿Cómo están ustedes? ¿Cómo se sienten? Yo me siento bien. All right, muy bien cantado. Now, as I told you, we're going to start today with an activity called Adivinen la palabra, or guess the word. So take out a piece of scratch paper and write down these letters. S, O, L, A, E, B, U. Go ahead and jot those down on a piece of scratch paper, okay, so that you can refer to them as we're going through today's lesson. Now, your mission for today is to see if you can unscramble these letters to form one of the words that we're going to be going over today. At the end of class today, we'll see who can adivinar la palabra. Now, in our other classes, we've been practicing a dialogue, the greetings. Okay? Now, so far, we've done this. Repitan. Buenos días, ¿cómo te llamas? Okay, and the answer is, me llamo Roberto. Of course, you're going to say your name, unless your name is Roberto, and then you can say that. And then we said, ¿Cómo estás? And we answer with, estoy bien. All right, muy bien. Well, if you haven't done so already, I think that you should all pick a Spanish name, okay? And that's a name that you can use here in Spanish class. Now, teachers, as I told you, there's a list of Spanish names in the teacher's guide. And students, you can either pick a name which is like yours in Spanish, like I did with Roberto, or just pick a name that sounds good, that you like Pepe or Pancho or Maria or Josefina, whatever you like. Well, today, we're going to add some things to the dialogue. When someone asks you how you are, after you tell them, oh, I'm fine, do you ask them how they are? Sure you do. It's the polite thing to do. Also, if someone asks you how you're doing, do you think that you might say something like, oh, fine, thank you? Yeah, well, I hope you do, because that's, again, the really nice, polite thing to do. Well, we do the same thing in Spanish. Ready? Repitan. Buenos días. ¿Cómo te llamas? And you answer, me llamo Roberto. Okay, then we ask the question, ¿Cómo estás? Okay, and we can answer like this. Estoy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú, cómo estás? And you will answer, estoy bien, gracias. Muy bien. Ahora, practiquen el saludo. Go ahead and get your partner, and this time the person who has shorter hair will go first. So if you need to put me on pause to get ready, that's fine. Okay? You ready? Repitan. First person. Buenos días. ¿Cómo te llamas? Okay? Second person, you're going to answer them. You're going to say, me llamo Roberto. Okay. First person, you say, ¿Cómo estás? Okay. Here you go. Second person, now you're going to answer. You're going to say, estoy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú, cómo estás? Okay. First person, you're going to answer. You're going to say, estoy bien, gracias. Okay. Good job. Well, I tell you what, let's go ahead and turn it around and have the other person go first. Okay, so the person with longer hair will go first this time. Ready? Repitan. Buenos días. ¿Cómo te llamas? Second person, you answer. Me llamo Roberto. Okay. First person. ¿Cómo estás? Okay, second person. Here's your big line. Estoy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú cómo estás? Good job. You answer him now. Estoy bien, gracias. Very good. Now I'd like for all of you to review again with this video featuring those two Spanish-speaking fellows. Ahora presten atención y repitan todos. Saludos. Buenos días. ¿Cómo te llamas? Me llamo Roberto. ¿Cómo estás? Estoy bien. ¿Cómo se llama tu papá? Se llama Jaime. ¿Y tú cómo estás? Estoy bien, gracias. Now another thing that we've been talking about is the family relationships. We started with this question. ¿Quiénes son los miembros de tu familia? Who are the members of your family? Now we talked about some of the answers that you could give to this question. And let's look at those again right now. Okay, we talked about this guy up here. And we said this would be my father, or mi padre, or mi papá. Repitan todos, mi padre, mi papá. Then we talked about this woman up here, and we said that she would be my mother, mi madre. Repitan, mi madre, o mi mamá. Okay? And when we talked about both of these people together, we called them my parents. Repitan, mis padres, mis papás. We talked about this guy down here. I said this would be my brother. In Spanish, mi hermano. Repitan, mi hermano. We said this girl here would be my sister. In Spanish, mi hermana. Repitan. That's right. And if we talked about both of them, we said we'd call them mis hermanos. Repitan. All right, very good. But these probably aren't the only people in your family. Who are some other people in your family? If you guys need to, put me on pause and talk about it in your class. See how many relationships you can come up with. Well, I'm sure that you guys can come up with a lot of them. Here are some more that I thought of. Let's look at those relationships right now. Okay. Well, here I am, okay? This is me right here. Okay? So who would this guy be? Este es mi abuelo, my grandfather. Mi abuelo. And this would be mi abuela, my grandmother. My grandmother, mi abuela. Now, we all have two sets of grandparents. Your mother's grandparents and your father's grandparents, right? Your father's grandparents are called mis abuelos paternos. Padre, paternos. Okay? Your mother's grandparents are going to be, or my mother's grandparents are mis abuelos maternos. Mis abuelos maternos. Okay? Now, say my father has a brother. Who would he be? He'd be my uncle. My uncle. Y en español, mi tío, mi tío, my uncle. And if my father or mother have a sister, or the wife of my uncle is my aunt, or mi tía, repitan, mi tía. And if I talk about both of them together, my uncle and my aunt, I would call them mis tíos. Repitan. Okay, very good. Now, the children of my uncle and aunt are my what? These guys over here are my cousins. My cousins. In Spanish, if it's a boy cousin, we call him mi primo. Repitan. That's right. And if it's a girl cousin, we call her mi prima. Repitan. And if we talk about my cousins together, I just call them mis primos. All right. Well, I tell you what, let's go over the vowel sounds again as we review the family relationships. Now, the boy who has the same mom and dad as I have is me, H blank, RM blank, N blank. Do you know what he's called? Sound it out. Mi hermano. Mi hermano. Okay? How about this? The girl who's the daughter of my uncle and my aunt, she's my cousin. Y en español es mi, do you remember? Raise your hand and tell your teacher. Mi prima. Mi prima. All right. How about this one then? My mother's mother is my grandmother, right? En español es mi blank, blank, B, blank, blank, L, blank. Can you fill that in? Okay, mi abuela. Mi abuela. Okay. Now you're ready for this question. ¿Cómo se llama tu abuela? ¿Cómo se llama tu abuela? Now remember that to answer that you would say se llama and then her name. Got it? All right. Well, I tell you what, right now I'd like for all of you to review with this video. Pongan atención y repitan todos. La familia. ¿Quiénes son los miembros de tu familia? Mamá, papá, mis papás, mi hermano, mi hermana, mis hermanos, mi abuelo paterno, mi abuela paterna, mi abuelo materno, mi abuela materna, mis abuelos, mi tío, mi tía, mis tíos, mi primo, mi prima, mis primos. Well, you know what? If you guys haven't already done so, you might want to get a notebook to jot down notes about Spanish, okay? You can keep all of your notes in one place. It'll make it a lot easier to refer to them. And you can put the things that we've been talking about into your notebook. Well, I tell you what, let's go ahead and look now at our activity sheet for today. It's called El Árbol Genealógico, okay? Árbol means tree, And genealógico is like genealogical, or family tree is what we'd call this. And maybe some of your parents or grandparents are into genealogy. Okay? Now, go ahead and start up here with your nombre. Write your Spanish name if you've already got it. Voy a escribir mi nombre, Roberto. And it says, write the names of your family members in the correct spaces. Okay, well, we start off down here with this one. Yo me llamo Roberto. And then from here you go to mi hermano, mi hermana. We'll widen out, you'll get mi madre, mi padre. And what you should do is go ahead and fill in all of the blanks. You may need to add apples somewhere. You may not have any uncles or aunts. Okay? Go ahead and try to fill that out. I went ahead and took a few minutes and kind of quickly did one here that you can see. I wrote my name, my sisters and brothers, my cousins, aunts and uncles, and my grandparents' names up there. Yeah, so that's kind of what yours might look like. You might even color yours. You might do a better job of drawing all of the people in your family than I did in my family, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. You're not trying to make you great artists. Just go ahead and try to figure it out. This will also give you something that you can copy the notes from into your Spanish notebook. Well, you know what? That's about all that we have time for today. We reviewed all of the things that we've done and added some new things. Okay? You know, you're already learning quite a few things. You might be surprised. Next class, we'll review and learn a new sentence that you can use when you meet a Spanish speaker. Now, before we go, did anyone guess the mystery word for today? Remember? Solaebu. Solaebu. Did you figure it out? Well, if you were paying attention, you may have seen the word abuelos. Yeah. How many of you got it right? Well, I tell you what, we'll try another one of those next time. For our goodbye song today, let's try a new one called La Bamba. You may have heard this song before. It's very popular. It's pretty easy to sing. And I really like it. Canten todos. Para bailar la bamba, para bailar la bamba, se necesita una poca de gracia, una poca de gracia para ti, para mí, ahí arriba y arriba, ahí arriba y arriba, por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré. Everybody help me out now. Bamba, 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 bamba. Yo no soy marinero, yo no soy marinero, soy capitán, soy capitán, soy capitán. Bamba, 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 bamba. You guys are doing a great job. We'll practice that in some other songs, other lessons. Until our next lesson, adiós y hasta luego. Bye.